Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something really special, a kind of ancient user's manual for the mind. We're getting our insights straight from a super important text, the Yogacara Bhumi Shastra.
All right, so we're going to walk this path together, and it's broken down into 6 clear stages. You can really think of it as a complete roadmap for your own mind. We'll start at the very beginning, how to find a guide, and follow it all the way to the ultimate destination, total freedom from suffering. Okay, so first things first. Every big journey needs a starting point, right? And for this path to wisdom, that first step is all about finding the right kind of teacher, someone to really light the way for you.
And what's so cool is that the text gets really specific here. It's not just find a teacher. It breaks it down into 3 distinct roles. You've got the great teacher, think of the Buddha, the one who literally established the teachings. Then, the successor teachers, like his first disciples who passed it all on. And finally, the follower teachers. These are the preceptors and mentors we might actually meet in our own lives, the ones who help us day to day.
Now this leads to a really important idea, pure faith. And let me be clear, the text is super insistent on this point. This is not blind belief, not at all. It's a kind of conviction that comes from deeply, genuinely understanding your teacher's virtues and wisdom. It's a feeling so powerful, it can actually have a physical effect. Goosebumps, hair standing on end, even tears of inspiration. It's a trust you feel in your whole body.
So once you have that foundation of trust, that inspired faith, what's next? Well, now we get to the real work, the core of the practice. This is where we talk about the active, deliberate steps you take to really shape and forge your own mind. The text calls this dedicated practice yoga, and it lays it out as this awesome, dynamic 5-step process. It's so logical. You start by just receiving and holding the teachings. Then you make them your own by reciting them. After that, you dig deeper by questioning and analyzing them. And it all leads up to the final step, putting it all into practice through meditation. See? It's a whole system from A to Z. And when it talks about effort, it's not just about, trying harder. It's way more nuanced than that. The text breaks it down into these amazing components. We're talking about having a brave and heroic heart in your practice. We're talking about perseverance, this an absolute refusal to quit once you've started. Then there's courage, the grit to push through hardships. And this last one is huge. Never, ever getting complacent or satisfied with just a little bit of progress. You always keep going. Okay, so this is a really crucial point we're getting to. The word wisdom gets thrown around a lot, but this text is telling us that not all wisdom is created equal. In fact, it makes some super fine-tuned and honestly really helpful distinctions. Let's dig into that.
This is so fascinating. The text splits wisdom into these different flavors. You've got jhana, which is the wisdom you use. It's the wisdom of application during your practice. Think of it like the skill of a master craftsperson. Then you have vijnana, which is the direct aha moment. It's the wisdom that just sees the essential nature of things. It's the direct realization itself. So one is the tool, and the other is the breakthrough.
Right, so this wisdom we're cultivating, it's not just one big clunky thing. The text paints this beautiful picture of it being like a jewel with many, many facets. Each facet is a different quality of the awakened mind, and each one shines in its own unique way. So one facet is swift wisdom. Pretty self-explanatory, right? It's that ability to just get it, to understand things super quickly. Then you've got sharp wisdom. Now this isn't just about speed, this is about precision. It's the ability to cut through the noise and see all the little details, the specifics of how things work. And then there's profound wisdom. This is the big one. This is the power to really truly get your head around the deepest truths of how reality functions. We're talking about huge concepts like emptiness, this idea that nothing really has a solid, fixed self, and dependent origination, that mind-bending truth that everything is interconnected and arises together. And I love the imagery the text uses here. It says wisdom isn't just some passive idea you have in your head. No way. It's an active tool. It's a wisdom sword, a wisdom blade that you can actually use to slice right through all the tangled knots of your suffering and confusion. How cool is that? So, you might be asking, where does all this lead? What's the end game of cultivating all these different kinds of wisdom? Well, it leads to the ultimate embodiment of it all, the perfected qualities of a fully awakened being, a Tathagata. And the way this state is described is just incredible. It's not one single label. It's a collection of titles or epithets, and each one gives you a different glimpse into what full enlightenment is like. So it's not just Buddha. It's also knower of the world,
the unsurpassed leader, the teacher of gods and humans. All of them together give you this rich, complete picture of what's possible.
And it gets even more detailed. The text says this supremacy isn't just, being the best at one thing. It's a perfection across 5 whole levels. We're talking everything from their physical presence in their conduct all the way to their unbeatable realization of ultimate truth. It is total, complete mastery of everything.
So after all this work, this journey, what's the ultimate goal? What's the final destination? It's simple and profound. Complete, final, and irreversible freedom. Freedom from all suffering, from all affliction, period.
And the key that turns the lock on that freedom is that concept we touched on earlier, emptiness. It's the direct, gut-level understanding that nothing, not you, not me, not the chair you're sitting on, has some kind of permanent, unchanging core. Everything is constantly changing, always in flux.
And this all culminates in what's called the Arhant's Declaration. It's what someone who has reached the end of the path says. And it's so powerful. My birth is ended. The holy life is fulfilled. What had to be done has been done. There is no more for this world. I mean, that's it, right? That is the sound of total liberation. So, as we wrap up this journey through the text, I want to leave you with a question to think about. We've looked at this whole path, finding a guide, what real effort looks like, all the different faces of wisdom, and the ultimate goal. Out of all of that, what's one piece that really resonates with you right now? What part inspires your own practice today?